Sherri Papini is back in court. It's not what you thought it was for, but you're still going to be like, huh? And we're talking about it in today's video. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. There's a sofa back there. There's a Paul right here. My name's Paul if you're new to the channel. If you're not new to the channel, well, guess what? My name's still Paul. Y'all, today we are revisiting the Sherri Papini case, the infamous original Gone Girl case, okay? She has found her way back in court, so we're just going to talk about that. This will probably be kind of a quick video, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into the Sherri Papini drama. So in November 2016, Sherri Papini, she was a 34-year-old wife, mother of two from Redding, California. Now, she was reported missing after she allegedly went for a little jog that morning and never returned. So this sparked a massive search effort. It drew national attention. I mean, I would say international attention at this point, right? 3 weeks later, on Thanksgiving morning, Sherri is found on the side of a road over 100 miles away from her house with visible injuries and all sorts of stuff. She's got, chain around her wrist, and she'll have this huge tall tale, right? That she was, kidnapped by two Hispanic women. She was held captive, so on and so forth. Now, for years, this story remains unverified. Like, she keeps this up, right? But then suspicion started to grow as investigators found inconsistencies in her account of the story, right? So eventually in 2020, DNA evidence from the clothing that she was wearing during her abduction matched an ex-boyfriend, right? Now, this leads to authorities to, uncovering the truth that Sherri had staged her own kidnapping and had been hiding with her ex-boyfriend. Now, in 2022, she's arrested. She is charged with making false statements to federal agents and mail fraud for receiving victim compensation payments, all sorts of things. Now, she would later admit to fabricating the entire story and get sentenced to like 18 months in prison. Now, of course, this shocks the public because not only it's, this hoax, but, she's going after marginalized communities. I mean, it put everyone on edge. And it was also very costly to the county, to the community, and law enforcement and whatnot, and her family too, and the emotional toll. So that's like the basic, 60-second overview of the case, okay? Now let's fast forward. Sherri was back in court very recently, but this time it's a different fight. It's a different battle, okay? She's fighting for custody of her children. Now, she wants to get reunification with one child, and she wants increased visitation with another. She's also asking that the kids not be shown a Hulu docuseries that was released in 2024 that her former husband Keith put together, right? Now, as you can imagine, it did not paint Sherri in the best of light. And I just kind of giggle at that because this case is so absurd and so over the top, and at the end of the day, so horrible for the kids. I can only imagine what these boys have gone through and will go through with this scenario. And so for her to be like, don't show them the Hulu documentary or whatever, it's just like, girl. I mean, I get you don't want your kids to see that. I 100% understand that. But on the same note, it's like, you're not going to be able to hold this in, right? So Keith making a little docu-series, who knows what they've seen at this point besides that. Anyways, I digress. Let's keep going. Now, I'm going to do some quotes that came from this. So she would say about that Keith is reopening old wounds and putting her children's best interest below his ego and hatred towards her. Now, I'm going to quote an article. It's by AB7KRCR, and I'm going to just read from it verbatim here. So it says that Sherri's defense argued for more time with her children, claiming that Keith is projecting his past feelings onto the children and lacks proof that she is an unfit mother. Keith Papini in court said, I quote, "I don't think therapy will help Sherri. I don't think anything can help Sherri. She's been like this her whole life." Okay, he said that she's lived this way her whole life, and I don't see immediate change out of that world so she is so used to. Now, he would go on to say that, talk about this absolute living hell that Sherri has put both he and the children through. Now, Sherri had something to say about this too, right? Sherri would also fire back, and now per KRCR, the article we're going through, and I'm going to quote her, it says, "For 8 years, Our family has been followed, stalked, harassed, and bullied by the media. I've done my best to stay private, to focus on my children and healing from the events that transpired. And this was what she wrote in the filing. This was cited by KRCR. Now, it also says, for many years after my arrest, I was the primary caregiver of our children before serving my time in prison. My children have always been my primary focus, she added. So after her lying and scheming was exposed and Keith left her, Keith was subsequently awarded the couple's home and most of their possessions that they had. Well, on that note, guess what? Sherri wants some of it back. Okay. She cited things like grandpa's truck, an inflatable water slide, a leaf blower, like a smart TV or something. So yeah, she's like, give me my stuff back. Now, she has been reportedly living with a guy named Sean Hibdon. He's like a 50-year-old auto dealer. They have like a nice 4-bedroom home in Shingleton. It's like 30 miles away from where she lived previously with Keith and the kids. Now, it says that like their relationship began before she started serving her 10-month prison sentence, and they were even like spotted kissing outside the residence last year, right? So I'm not sure if they're still together or not at this point, but it sounds like it. So remember also she had talked about writing a kid's book and doing all this kind of stuff, all the like telltale signs that we see. Now, here's my thought process on this. First of all, do I know anyone involved in this? No. Right? Was I there? No. Do I know Sherri? Do I know Keith? Like, none of that stuff. Do I hope that she can get past whatever caused her to do that? Of course, absolutely, right? Do I hope that the kid, my biggest concern really is the kids, right? Because to me, I view it this way. This is so, if you're familiar with the case, you know, okay? This is so out there and so big what she did and what she put them through. And not just the moment of it, like the act of like, I've been kidnapped, but keeping the ruse up for as long as she did. And then to have your world yanked out from beneath you, like being Keith and the kids be like, wait a second, what? But especially the kids, because I would think that when the kids, and they probably are old enough to figure this stuff out now, there would have to be a thought process of, why would mom leave us? Like, why would she want to do that? Like, that part would, why was whatever was going on more important than us, right? And so I feel like, I mean, my heart breaks for them in that context. Again, I can understand Sherri not wanting Keith to specifically show the kids the Hulu thing, but this can't meet please, right? I mean, this went international, okay? So while I get you might not want your spouse or whoever to show the stuff, they're going to see it at some point. I would almost rather, and it just depends probably on parenting, it's almost like, look, you're going to have to address that at some point. It's going to be like the elephant in the room, and you're going to have to sit down and address it. So would you rather them hear through the grapevine? Now, I'm not saying they're at age appropriate. I'm not sure how old the kids are now, but it's going to be a tough thing. And again, they're probably, I mean, you know how horrible like middle school and high school and stuff is? Imagine if like that was your mother and she did all this. I mean, I'm just like, my heart literally just hurts for them in that way. So I'll be curious to see, what would take place. Like Keith saying, she's always been this way. Do I think that Sherri, from what we've seen, this type of person to physically harm a kid? I mean, I can't say. He did allude to the fact that she was seemingly giving one of the kids something to make them sick, right? When you're seeking attention to the degree that Sherri seemingly did, usually nothing is off the table, right? We've seen the Gypsy Road situation. We've seen this, we've seen that, okay? So it's like nothing's really off the table. And that would be my main concern is if something flared up with that, I don't know how much help she's gotten for that, but I don't think people who do that kind of stuff, that there's anyone or anything that they want to exploit for that attention, or if they had to in a moment of desperation. So we will see. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And while you are down there, if you could please drop some sofas off for myself, Roscoe and Spirit, Bo and Luke, and well, the whole sofa squad, okay? So that way we'll have a place to hang out, talk about Sherri, Casey, all these crazy cases we do talk about. And until we meander our way on down to that comment section to do just that, I'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Ross go on the Instagram. Go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.